guys, so my name's Craig Campbell. I'm a UK based SEO consultant. I've been doing digital marketing for about 20 years now, which is a long time, and in this presentation I am going to give you a bit more information on how search engine optimization and taking advantage of organic search can help your business. We've all come out of a pandemic, and of course getting back into making money and making sure we get it from the right sources is important, and search engine optimization is just one little part that can help you get back to normality. So a bit about myself, as I say, Craig Campbell, based in the UK, nearly 20 years experience. I do affiliate marketing, SEO consultancy, and also buy and sell websites or online businesses and flip them on and make a fair bit of money. But going back to how SEO works and how it can work for you, and I'm going to start from the very basics, and that is auditing your website for SEO. Now, everyone's got a website out there, or most businesses do. Auditing your website to see what is wrong with it and how it compares to the competition is essential. I'm also going to be talking about link auditing, site speed, content auditing, what a technical SEO audit is, and also the tools that are used for auditing websites. Now, many people, as I say, have websites out there. They just don't perform that well, and you need tools to be able to analyze what's going on with your website and how it's doing compared to the competition. And I'm going to run through some of these tools and some of the things you can do to make sure that you're getting that competitive edge. Now, the first tool is going to be SEMrush. Now, it's an old favourite of mine, does a great job, and you can audit your website and it's going to give you a health score. And a good website is going to have anything between 80 and 100%. No one has a website that the site health is 100%. With these auditing tools, they are very aggressive and they are designed to flag up proper problems on a website. Now, even my own website, it's got some errors, it's got some warnings, and it's got some notices. Now, in terms of errors are things that are fundamentally wrong with the website that need addressed now. So I've got 22 pages which have slow load speed. That's not good. We want to make sure that that's fixed, because in July, I believe, we are having another Google update which is called Core Web Vitals, and Google are looking for slow loading websites, and they're going to drop down the rankings if you don't take advantage and get your website going fast. So it's telling me that 22 pages are slow. I've got 13 incorrect pages found in my sitemap, and I've got a couple of other broken images and structured data items that are invalid, which is schema. Very easy to fix. The next thing when you do a site audit is warnings, and this is not something that urgently needs fixed. It's just more of a recommendation of best practices that you want to sort out. So I don't tag any of my images. So there's 341 images that are not tagged. Now, in my opinion, tagging my images is not really going to have a major impact on Google, so I've not bothered ever doing that. But broken external links, duplicate this, broken that, it's never a good thing for Google to come across when it's looking at your website. So these are all things that you can do to make sure your website is performing to the best of its ability. And the next thing on an audit would be issues, and it's telling me that I've got 105 orphaned pages, which means my internal linking is not good. We have a whole bunch of other stuff there where I've got links that don't have anchor text and various other bits and bobs, and these are just things that the audit is telling me is potentially a problem, but it might not be. And you know, things like 1,400 permanent redirects, I know about them and I know why they're there, so I don't have to worry about that. But it's highlighting the fact that they are there, so you can get a full understanding of your website and deal with it from there. Now, that's more of a technical audit. GT Metrics is another tool you can use. It's got both paid and a free version. And as I said earlier, site speed's going to become more and more important. And this is my website, and you can see that it loads very, very quickly. And you can see it's pretty much got a grade A, which is the best score you can get. And there are a few little things that probably can be tweaked, but it's performing really well. I would encourage you to run your website through it and see what comes up. And it will tell you what's loading slow, why it's loading slow. And again, you want to make sure that you're addressing that, because the next Google update, which is coming out in July 2021, is called Core Web Vitals. And as I say, it's focusing on speed. How much of an impact that will have in your rankings is still remains to be seen until the update comes out. However, Google are saying it's going to be fairly big, so we've got to take that and make sure that we get our websites loading as fast as we can. So gtmetrics.com is good for that. Now, I don't like just believing in one tool. I like Pingdom, and Pingdom allows us to also use a secondary tool to check out the speed. And as I say, sometimes one tool will say one thing and another tool will say another. So I like to use, two different tools for each of the things that I look at, just for a comparison. And Pingdom is another site speed checker. So you can check that out at tools.pingdom.com. Another, just to corroborate the information you've got. Now, another thing that I feel is really, really important from an SEO point of view, and where you can get quick success, would be to audit your own content. Now, what do I mean by content auditing? Now, there are tools available these days, so you don't need a human being's eyes to look at this, because people get lazy, right? PageOptimizer.pro is the tool of choice that I'm using. You can also use surferseo.com. Both do the same thing, and what they do is compare your page to that of the people who rank in the top 10 search positions for your keyword. So why would we look at the top 10 search results? Well, it's all of those guys that are on page 1, and that's where you aspire to be. So why wouldn't we analyze the top 10 search results and compare it to your page? That's exactly what this tool does. Now, for example, if you Google something like SEO training Middlesbrough, I've got a page on my website that targets that search term. Now, if I run it through this tool, it will tell me that my current word count is 864. Everyone else in that top page has 1,600 words. So it's telling me that I need to increase my word count. It's also telling me to increase my subheadings. It's also telling me what those subheadings should be. It's even telling me what keywords that I should be putting throughout the content, and how many times that I should be using those keywords. And you can see the red dots here telling me what I've not used. The amber is words that I have used, but maybe just not used them enough. And the green dots, which are very few, are the ones that I'm on point with. So you can see there's a lot more red than green, and that page needs work. So it's telling me what to do and why I should do it. Now, a lot of people make a common mistake out there when they're asking people to write content. They'll say, go and write me 500 words or 1,000 words on this particular topic targeting this particular area. Now, who the hell says that it's 500 words or 1,000 words? Without using these tools, you cannot tell someone what to go and do, because what is good for one area or one search term may be completely different for any other search term. And that's why it's important that when you're doing SEO, that you actually do the basic fundamental research. And if you're going to outsource that work, make sure you're outsourcing it and you know what you're doing, rather than blindly just saying, go and write me 10 articles targeting all of these areas. That's a common problem in this industry. Now, it also gives me related questions. And if you want to get schema added into your website, which is simple and easy to do, and try and rank for those related questions, then this tool is also giving you that information. So content auditing is something you can get a lot of quick wins with. And when it comes to SEO, I still firmly believe that it's content and links that are the two main things. Of course, technical is really important, but content and links are the two biggest factors when it comes to ranking, and getting the content done and getting the basic auditing done is important, as are links. Going back to SEMrush, doing a link audit of your website on a regular basis is very, very important. Now, we can see here on SEMrush, which is the tool I showed you earlier, that I have a high toxicity score, which means I've got a lot of dodgy links pointing to my website, which is not going to do me any favours. Now, just so you guys know, I have someone out there, because I put my name out there, I've got a big YouTube channel, a big social media following. People decide not to like me, and they will send a whole bunch of Chinese porn links at my website. Now, if I didn't audit my website, I probably wouldn't know that that was happening, but I can see it happening, and I can disavow those links, which is essentially telling Google that the links are not me, and I don't want them to count towards the score of my website. So that's why it's important that you do a backlink audit. Now, as I say, you can see the anchor text. The links are all, Asian spam, and they have a high toxicity score. Basically, the tool is going to calculate a score based on the anchor text and the links. It just doesn't look natural. I'm not targeting the Asian market. I can't speak Asian, I can't type Asian, so it doesn't look natural for someone to have that kind of backlink profile. So we would want to disavow that. Now, it could be a competitor, or someone could literally be paying a guy like this on a marketplace like this to give me Chinese and Russian spam. Now, they think negative SEO is still a thing. I believe that Google are quite clever in being able to identify those dodgy links. However, you want to make sure that you're not putting that to chance, and you do want to do an audit and disavow that garbage. Do not leave it up to Google to find them. You find them by doing an audit, and you deal with them by doing a disavow. And as I say, someone has literally been bashing my website with close to 1 million backlinks a month of Chinese porn. But because I've been dealing with it, it has little to no impact on my website at all. So keeping top of that is really important to do that, because with anything competitive or where there's money to be made, people sometimes resort to those kind of tactics. But you've got to think that doesn't happen to everyone. More so in competitive markets, you're likely to see negative SEO, as they call it. So you want to make sure that that's not happening. So do a disavow file, make sure you sort it all out, collate the list, which you will be doing here. So you basically collate your disavow file, mark everything that you want to mark off as toxic, and then upload that file to Google, and that's it. Job done. But going back to technical SEO, we done a quick SEMrush audit. I also like to use a tool like SiteBulb, which gives my website a score here, and again, we'll give it a fairly decent score overall in terms of page speed, security, SEO, and an overall audit score of 80 I would consider to be relatively good. But again, it digs a little bit deeper and looks at some things that maybe other tools don't. So it's given me a duplicate content score. Whether you have an in-house content writer or whether you outsource your content, someone may get lazy. People, human beings, do get lazy. You need to make sure that you're not relying on goodwill and hoping that people are doing, unique content for your website. You need to analyze that and make sure it's been done. And this tool is really good at highlighting duplicate content. obviously if you've got duplicate content in your website, you're not going to rank well. So it's important, if you're a business owner trying to manage and run a business online, that you do keep an eye on that. And this tool gives me a 97% score, which is good. Security wise, there is a couple of little bits I need to tweak, but overall my website's good. Mobile friendly score 98 is not bad. Saying it's not so good in 3G connections, but overall the website is site build is looking at other elements of my website that SEMrush doesn't, and I feel that that's really important. Now, indexability score, you want to make sure that your website is indexable, crawlable and indexable by Google. And again, 64%, there's certain parts of my website that are not indexable, and that was me not allowing Google to index certain pages on my website. For example, the login page, my privacy policy, and various other pages that are not designed to rank. As an SEO, I can do that, but you need to make sure that pages that are not indexable, where it says 109, these are not your money. If that was my pages that were designed to rank, then that's a problem. So you need to make sure that everything that is indexable is your pages that are designed to rank. That is pretty much me and what I do. Now, you can catch me on craigcampbellseo.com. You can catch me on YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and I do a lot of tutorials on YouTube. So there's a whole plethora of information on my YouTube channel. I do 2 live Q&A sessions a week, and I give away a lot of free courses. So that is pretty much an overview of what you can be doing and the tools that you can do to try and do better SEO for yourself. And if you've got any further questions, you can catch me on any of these platforms. You can like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you'll be able to catch those live Q&A sessions. But it has been a pleasure talking here, and all the best for the rest of the speakers and all the other information that's to follow.